I'm here to walk you, MRAP's here again, here to walk you through unlike fractions, and we can drive on through it too, so you can have your calculator out while we work. I always like to begin with definitions, and remember, this is the best place for you to look for answers for a vocab quiz. So at the beginning of the notes, we have the definition of LCM or LCD, lowest common multiple or lowest common denominator. This is probably review from 6th grade, so maybe we should use a calculator more. Factors are the numbers that you multiply together. So if I asked you, what are the factors of 6, you would say 2 times 3 or 6 times 1. If something is a prime factor, prime factorization means I'm going to keep factoring it until I can't factor it anymore. You get down to the prime numbers. And a prime number is something that's only divisible by itself and 1. So, for example, number 2 is a prime number. Number 3 is a prime number. Number 4 is not a prime number because it is also divisible by 2 and 2. And if it's not prime, it's called composite. Okay, 5 is prime, 6 is not prime, 7 is prime, 8 is not prime, 9's not, 10's not. They have other factors besides itself and 1. And if I'm going to go too fast, then you pause. If I go too slow, then you can just play it faster. So before we go to do adding and subtracting of unlike denominators, we have to practice the LCD or the LCM, because that is how you find out what you need to do to get common denominators. We don't add unlike things, so we need to make them alike first. So let's just practice. Let's say I had a problem with denominators of 2 and 4. You probably know what the common denominator would be, but I always like to start out with easy questions and then move on to the hard ones, so just bear with me. Let's list the factors for 2 and 4. Well, 2, it doesn't have any other factors because 2 is prime. No, I'll use blue. 2 is prime. 4 is divisible by 2. What is this? I don't have a dictionary. Technical difficulties. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Okay, so 4 is 2 times 2. And if you look at my answer key, I use a regular dot for a multiplication sign. On the computer, I use the asterisk, which is Shift 8. I don't use X's. X's are elementary school way of saying multiply. In 7th grade, an X means X. So multiplication is either going to be a dot in the center of the 2 numbers or an asterisk. We don't use X's. You might see it every now and then, but so 2 times 2. So I need to include all the factors, and I don't need to count them twice. So you know what? I think I'm going to change that back to a 2. So I have 1, 2 in the first one and 2 2's in the second one. I have to include all the numbers. So the LCD of this one is 4. Okay? If I have something there already, I don't need to recopy it. So there's my 1, 2. There's the other 2. The LCD of this one is 4. The common denominator is 4. 3 and 5. What would the common denominator be for 3 and 5? Well, 3 is prime, so I'm just going to write 3 again. 5 is prime, so I'm just going to write 5 again. And my LCD has to have all the factors that are listed there. So I got a 5. There's my dot for a times sign, and I got a 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So the LCD is 15 for letter B. Okay? And if you went to the Math Antics video, it was just like doing the easy common denominator way. I can just multiply the 2 numbers together. I could do that for C. I could do 6 times 9 and get a common denominator. But for this one, it won't be the lowest. So let's list out the factors for 6. 6 is 3 times 2. 9 is 3 times 3. My LCD has to have all the factors that I see. They share a 3, so I'm only going to write that once. Then they don't share a 2, and they don't share the other 3. So 3 times 2 is 6, times 3 is 18. The lowest common denominator for 6 and 9 would be 18, or the lowest common multiple. We're not going to use tables. We are doing prime factorization, and you might not like it, but you should trust me, because this is the easier way to do things, especially when the numbers get harder. So we still want to know all this factoring and lowest common denominator stuff, because it's going to help you in high school when we do a lot more things with letters. So let's talk about factors of 15. 5 times 3. Factors of 18. 6 times 3, right? Well, 6 isn't prime. So I'm going to change the 6 to the factors of 6. The factors of 6 are 3 times 2. So now it's prime factorization. It shares a 3, so my LCD will have one shared 3, an unshared 5, an unshared 3, and an unshared 2. You can put this in the calculator if you want. I'm gonna do commutative property of multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 times 9 is 90. If you don't trust me, do it on the calculator. Sometimes I mess up. Now we're going to get to the hardest one here. Let's do 3 denominators, like 12, 8, and 5. 5 is prime. There are no other factors of 5. 8 is not prime. 8 could be 4 times 2 or 2 times 4. But 4 is not prime. So let's break down the 4. 4 breaks down into 2 times 2. So the prime factors of 8 are 2 times 2 times 2. Then 12, you can do 2 times 6, or you can do 4 times 3. It doesn't matter. We're going to get the same prime factors when we're done. So 2 times 6. 6 is not prime, so we're going to break 6 down into 3 times 2. So now this one is definitely a little bit harder. We're going to have some shared factors here. Let's see. We share 2. We share anything else? Nope, we don't share anything else. So my LCD has to have the 5, the shared 2, and the other 2 unshared 2s. And then, oh wait, there was a shared 2 right there. 2 shared 2s, right? So I got 1 shared 2, an unshared 2, another shared 2, and then I need a 3. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. 10 times 12 is an LCD of 120. Okay, that's a little crazy. But hey, not everything's going to be easy. So I wrote down all the factors. There's 5, shared 2, a shared 2, an unshared 2, and a 3. Okay, at the bottom I had pictures, but I'm not actually going to use them. Okay, so now we've practiced how to find the common denominator by doing the factorization. So this way is also beautiful, because if I want to know what do I need to multiply 6 by to get the 18, I know it's 3. That's what's left there. If I want to know what to multiply the 9 by, the leftover factor is 2. If I want to know what to multiply the 5 by, it's going to be 2, 2, 2, 3. If I want to know what to multiply the 8 by, this is the 8, 3 2's, I would multiply it by the leftover 3 times 5. If I wanted to know what to multiply the 12 by, which is 2 times 3 times 2, this is the 12, I would multiply it by the 5 times 2, which is 10. Oh, we're probably going to hear announcements, and then I'm going to have to pause my video. I don't want to pause my video.
We will begin dismissal with our student walkers, student drivers, and those that rode with another student.
Okay, so we got another page. I got most of the example done. I want to know the sum of 1/4 and 1/6. So I put the pictures here. 1/4, 1/6. I cannot add unlike denominators or unlike fractions. I make them like fractions so that I can add them together. So if I was to do the lowest common denominator and write the factors out, 4 is 2 times 2. 6 is 3 times 2. They share 2. So that's a factor in both. And then there's the unshared part. 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. The LCD is 12. So that means I need to multiply the 4 by 3. It's the missing factor. I need to multiply the 6 by 2. And when we do that and we show the work properly, you are supposed to be using dots in the center to show multiplication. You realize what this number is here, 2 over 2 and 3 over 3. Special number. It is a 1. And the reason we can do that is because of the multiplicative identity. You can multiply by 1 and get something that's equal. So I multiplied by my special 1. The 4 needs to be multiplied by 3 to make 12, so the whole fraction is times 3 over 3. The 6 needs to be multiplied by 2 to make 12, so the whole fraction gets multiplied by 2 over 2. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, now that we have common denominators, we add the numerators, 3 and 2, and we get 5. 5/12. So now let's do this first example. 3/4 plus 3/8. I need a common denominator. The lowest common denominator for 4 and 8 will be 8. I'm going to make them both 8. This one is already an 8. The 4 needs to get multiplied by 2 so that it will become an 8. And I don't do it just on the bottom, I have to do it on the top, so I multiply by my special 1. So 4 times 2 is 8. I got that on the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9/8 is what as a mixed number? 1 whole with 1 part left over.
If you look at the picture, we got 3/4 right here and 3/8 over here. They have to all be 8, so this one needs to get cut into 2 more pieces. So now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So example 1 is done now. I want you to try example 2 on your own. Pause the video and then come back and check out the work. So you can see in this example, the common denominator for 3 and 4 comes out to be 12. You need to multiply the 4 by 3 and the 3 by 4. I put the special ones on the side. When you write parentheses next to a number and it's implied multiplication, I don't have to write the time sign. So the denominator is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 and 9 make 17. 12 goes into 17. 1 whole time with 5 pieces left over. So this is the final answer. 1 and 5/12. And you know, you can do this on the calculator, but for now I'd like to show some of that work because you might have to explain how to get a common denominator. All right, let's try the next one. 1/2 minus 1/3. What is the lowest common denominator for 2 and 3? They're both prime, so it's going to be an easy common denominator. We're just going to multiply by the other number. A little glitchy here. I'm going to multiply with parentheses. So this one is It's going to be times 2 over 2. This one's going to be 3 over 3. So 3 times 1 is 3. And 1 times 2 is 2. And Mrs. Roberts wants you to always change subtraction to adding the opposite. So add opposite. 3 and a negative 2 comes out to be 1/6. If you want to see what it would look like in pictures, it looks a little something like this. We got
a half, we got a third. They would look more similar if this was cut into 2 more pieces and this was cut into 3 more pieces. So now I have 1, 2, 3 over here and 2 over here. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 out of 6.
Now you're going to pause the video. Try number 4. Unpause when you're ready. 4 has subtraction also, so I change it to adding the opposite. The common denominator is 12. Multiply the 2 by 6. Multiply the top by the same.
So I have my 1/2 picture on the left and my 12ths picture on the right, so I colored in half and I colored in 11/12. I changed the half into 12ths by cutting it into 6 more pieces each. So on the left is 6/12, on the right is 11/12, and I'm supposed to take away the 6/12. So the answer is 5/12. And you should
try this in the calculator. You should do 11/12 minus 1/2 and see if you get the same answer. And then from now on, we'll probably use the calculator a lot more. Okay, go ahead and use the calculator on your next practice assignment as well. See you guys when I see you.